What is going on, guys? So today we will be going over embeddings and vector searches or vector databases, essentially. Okay, so by now you've worked with, you've been in data engineering, you've probably worked with structured data extraction, even if it's with LLMs, right? Like, hey, here's a contract, pull in these specific clauses, whatever it may be. Embeddings are really a foundational use case for pulling in unstructured data and letting you search through text by meaning, not by keywords. Because the issue is, if you've worked with Python or like say SQL in the past, right? Obviously, you can do a string search on a set of documents. Let's say like, hey, find me which paragraphs or clauses, I don't know, like that have the words like with pure code, like that where you have a string match, like you have termination clause. But instead of a termination clause, what if another contract instead of termination clause is, I'm trying to think of another word that's like not termination, but like end date clause, which means the same thing, right? In the case of a contract, but it's not, string match won't capture that, obviously, right? And that's where embeddings and vectors come in. So what are embeddings? Embedding is a numeric representation of meaning for text. Okay, so you can pass a text through an embedding model, and what these embedding models are is they're just models that convert literally a set of text into a vector, a list of float variables, and they represent the meaning. So for example, if they have similar meanings, the vectors will be close together. Different meanings, the vectors will be far apart. So let's take two examples. Let's say like I love to eat and I want to go eat food. They will probably be fairly similar, right? Both expressing desire of wanting to go eat, right? Versus like I want to eat versus tomorrow is Saturday. Very different meanings, right? Embeddings actually capture the meaning behind the text. That is the key thing. And these embeddings are huge. Like as you can see here, text embedding large, which is OpenAI's embedding model, is 3072 floats long. So that's like 1,000 length vector. Okay. So OpenAI is small, or text embedding 3 is small. That's like OpenAI is like smaller one. 1500. AWS has their own, that's 1,000, and another one of AWS is 1,000. So there's different embedding models. Every company there's a ton of different embedding models, right? And they work primarily for text, where again you give it a string, it converts it into an embedding or a list of numbers, right? So there's that. And there's also many open source models available too, if you go on like Hugging Face and things like that as well. Okay. Oh, key thing I forgot to mention: if you cannot mix and match these embedding models, like as you would imagine, if you're gonna do so these embeddings are going to be close together, right? And we're measuring the similarity between the two. They have to be same in length to even do that comparison properly. And these embedding models, they convert text to these floats at a different through a different model. They all have their own model. So obviously, if it wasn't apparent, you should use the same embedding model for both indexing and querying. So you cannot mix models because they can produce incompatible vectors. Okay. So why do we want to do embeddings? What's the whole point of turning text into a list of numbers, right? Because we have similarity search. Because again, we can embed a query. So let's say I have a bunch of contracts that are embedded. Each contract is converted into a list of numbers, and now I have this new incoming contract, and I want to find what contracts are similar to this specific one. Well, I can embed that contract and compare it to every other embedding, compare with every other embedding in our database, and which one has the highest similarity score. And the way to do that is a cosine similarity function. You can just search it up. It's cosine similarity. Essentially, it measures similarity between two vectors, if it wasn't obvious, okay? So 0, oops, wrong tab. 0 means it's not related. 1 means it's highly related, or identical, actually. So closer to 1 is more similar they are, okay? And obviously, doing these doing these calculations at scale is very timely. So that is why there's these things called vector databases that use some NHSW index structures to do some like nearest neighbor matching to be able to find which embeddings in the list of, let's say, thousands of the embeddings are most similar to this specific inputted one. So let's say we have 1,000 contracts that are embedded. So each of them will have their own vector, right? We store that in a vector database. A new contract comes in. We want to find the top 30 most similar contracts. This vector database can essentially do that very quickly by calculating the similarity score of that new inputted contract and see which one, like say 91, 0.87, 0.64, whatever it may be, okay? And that way we know which contracts are most similar to this inputted one, okay? So embeddings versus direct LLM extraction. Again, this is right now very theoretical. I'm about to go over the code in a second on how this all works. The theoretical high level overview of how embeddings work. Let's get into the actual code because I think that will actually like make things a lot more easier to understand. Okay, so this is the code that we will be working with. Two things you'll need. You'll need an OpenAI API key, and there are a variety of different vector databases. Like you can just do a Google search, like let's say vector database. Like there are tons of vector database tools. Give me a second. to show you guys. So there's like, I use Pinecone. That is the one I use. So like say if you're gonna use Pinecone, like that is a very popular one. You need an API key to do this. So this demo will be done via Pinecone. As you can see here, you need a Pinecone API key. But a lot of companies use Redis, for example, because it does work well with AWS. And there's no right or wrong one. Just pick whichever one works best, right? Like if you're building an internal project, just stick with Pinecone, to be honest. But regardless, okay, you need these two API keys. So first thing we're gonna do is just load up the variable, load up our environment, load in the libraries, and define our actual models, our embedding model. So again, we're gonna use OpenAI's model, and the one we're gonna do is text embedding 3 small. Okay, so that's just if you just search up like OpenAI embeddings, like they give you a list of models that you can use. And again, Anthropic, Gemini, they all have their own. It's just we're just using OpenAI just for this example. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we have this long contract text right here, okay? So let's see the length of it. It's about 7,600 characters, okay? What we're gonna do is actually chunk this text into small pieces, okay? So when I say chunk, we're gonna slice up, because this string is super long, right? We're gonna break this up into chunks so that they're more bite-sized, so that when we, because maybe for context for an AI model, we don't need this full contract and we're just gonna use up our context window for no reason. Maybe we only need this small section of this contract, right? So we're gonna break this up into pieces and embed those pieces, those chunks as we call them, and push them into a Pinecone, okay? So this is the function I built right here to pretty much chunk everything up and create these chunks, and then we can embed them from there. So let's run this, and look at that. We created 21 chunks by 500 piece characters, okay? Or approximately 500 characters, right? And as you can see here, it's just breaking all this up into characters. And again, we'll get into actual chunking strategies later in this course. But the whole point of this is like, hey, we broke up all these texts. We have now 21 different strings, right? This is one giant string. We broke it up into chunks or 21 different strings. And now what we're gonna do is embed each and every one of them. So let's run this, and I've already ran this just to test this, but we're generating 21 embeddings, and these run very fast through OpenAI. We embedded all 21 of them. So now we have, again, 21 vectors, okay? Now, all we have to do from there is just push it into a Pinecone. And then from here, all we're gonna do then is embed each of these chunks, okay? So what we have is this function here, just called get embeddings. We just input the chunk text or the chunk here, and we define the embedding model that we already defined at the very beginning. Okay, so embedding model, text embedding 3 small. So this is just OpenAI's like function call to get the embedding. So it's OpenAI client embeddings.create. You put the text and boom, you're good. Okay. So from there on, what we're going to do is just run this function on every single chunk. So this is going to produce 21 vectors, as I said again. And I've already ran this actually. And so this is the first chunk, just to show you guys what they look like. This is the first chunk, and it converts it into, again, a vector. And this is the first 20 of 1,500 plus values, okay? So what we do from there is we have now 21 vectors that correspond to these 21 chunks. What we're gonna do now is push into Pinecone, our vector database, okay? So again, you need that Pinecone API key. We're gonna name the index contract embeddings, and then we're just gonna push it up into Pinecone. So very straightforward. I've already ran this actually. I'm not gonna run it again because I don't wanna have duplicates. But this is very, you can look through the Pinecone documentation. But again, the whole point of this is that we want to be able to find similar chunks of text in the future from these contracts. In order to do that, we want to run a cosine similarity search manually, like on every single one, especially at scale. That will just use so much compute power and take up so much time. It's just not worth it. It's just easier if you just get a vector database to upload all these embeddings to that you can then query to find similar contract or similar chunks in the future, which is what we'll do right now actually. So you rerun this, right? And we push them up into Pinecone, okay? And so this was just creating the actual vector database inside Pinecone, and this one was actually pushing it up, this data right here. So for every chunk and embedding, we're gonna enumerate them with an ID, with chunk 1, 2, 3, 4, with the actual values of the embedding. We push it up, and then from there on, now we can query Pinecone. So like, what is the total fee and payment schedule? Let's say we query that. So what will happen here is when we hit query, so query contract, is we're going to get the embedding of the question, okay? So that's the input, the question. So what is the total fee and payment schedule? We're going to embed it, just like what we did previously with the other chunks. And we're going to use that embedding as an input for the index.query tool within Pinecone to find other similar chunks that we have upserted into Pinecone from this contract, okay? So let's run this right now. And look at that, it came back with a score of 0.56. 0.50. Again, these aren't going to be great because it's just a single contract that I pushed up. But what you'll notice though is that all these chunks are related to payments and fees, right? Like this first one's about compensation and payment. Like what is the total fee and payment schedule, right? Like what's this one? Milestone complete, client shall pay each invoice within 30 days of receipt.